nobody believes in me before. And I showed them what person can accomplish with determination, with that believe in yourself and everything. And I'm just starting.
And now, entering the arena, here is the pound-for-pound king,
Saúl Canelo Álvarez.
Saúl Álvarez Barragán, better known as Canelo Álvarez, is one of boxing's most electrifying stars, and his story is as riveting as his punches. Born on July 18, 1990, in Guadalajara, Jalisco, this Mexican powerhouse has conquered not just opponents in the ring, but also boxing history itself. With world championships in 4 weight classes, from light middleweight to light heavyweight, Canelo became the first and only fighter to claim undisputed champion status at super middleweight, a title he held from 2021 until mid-2024. Since 2020, he's also held the Ring Magazine's super middleweight title, cementing his legacy as one of the sport's greats. With championships in 4 different weight divisions, from light middleweight to light heavyweight, Canelo is the only one to hold the title of undisputed champion in the super middleweight division from 2021 to 2024.
They want to follow in that line of succession, and here we go.
Canelo's journey into the world of boxing started at the young age of 15, but it wasn't until 2011, at just 20, that he really started making waves. That year, he won his first world championship, setting new records by becoming the youngest light middleweight champion ever. From there, he kept hitting it out of the park. In 2013, he beat Austin Trout to merge the WBA and the Ring's light middleweight titles, after which he knocked out Miguel Cotto in 2015 to win the WBC and the Ring's middleweight titles. By 2016, he added the WBO super welterweight title after stopping Liam Smith. But Canelo wasn't just hoarding belts, he was also creating a legacy for himself. His showdowns with Gennady Golovkin in 2017 and 2018 became instant legends, and their rematch made him the undisputed champion in the WBC, WBA, and the Ring middleweight divisions. He then fearlessly jumped to new heights, literally, by moving up to light heavyweight in 2019 to knock out Sergey Kovalev for the WBO title. But his most jaw-dropping feat? Dismantling 3 undefeated super middleweight stars, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant, to claim the division's 4 belts in under a year. What sets Canelo apart from other boxers? It's his incredible ability to counterpunch while evading attacks with slick head and body movement. His fights aren't just physical battles, they're chess matches, with Canelo outthinking his opponents. And let's not forget his brutal body shots. One well-timed hook to the ribs, and his opponents are left gasping for air. Canelo is a master at exploiting opponents' weaknesses while dodging incoming blows with his trademark head and body movement. His body punches are legendary, earning respect and fear from even the most formidable contenders. From November 2019 to March 2022, The Ring ranked him the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. And he's not just a fighter, he's a box office sensation. Canelo is among the highest-paid athletes globally, appearing on Forbes lists in 2019, 2022, and 2023. In 2023 alone, he earned a staggering $110 million, becoming the year's top-earning boxer. Canelo's influence extends far beyond the ring. In 2023, he flexed his creative muscles as the executive producer of The Long Game and landed the cover of the 2024 boxing video game Undisputed. The major turning point in his career was on January 20th, 2006, right after he went up against Miguel Vasquez, who would later win the IBF lightweight title. On June 28, 2008, they met up again, and Canelo won once more, making it clear he was the one to beat. What made the second fight so special wasn't just the win, it was the family thing that happened that night. 6 of Álvarez's brothers fought on the same card, with Canelo as the youngest in the lineup. While only 4 of the siblings scored victories, it was a night that put the Álvarez family name on the boxing map. In March 2010, Canelo had an amazing show in Tuxtla Gutiérrez, Chiapas, where he knocked out Brian Camichis in just the 3rd round. After that, he went up against Jose Cotto on the smaller stage of the huge Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Shane Mosley fight. This fight wasn't just a warm-up. Álvarez kept his WBC NABF welterweight title, showing he was ready to step up to the big time. Álvarez's move up to light middleweight was a game-changer for him. In front of a huge crowd at the Vicente Fernandez Arena, he won the WBC silver light middleweight title with a 6th-round knockout over Luciano Leonel Cuello. The night was unforgettable, not just because of the win, but after the fight, the famous Mexican singer Vicente Fernandez gave Álvarez a horse as a big sign of support. That night, the mayor of Tepic did the same, giving Canelo another horse and making him a national hero. Next, Álvarez squared off against former WBC welterweight champion Carlos Baldomir on the undercard of Shane Mosley versus Sergio Mora at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Baldomir, full of confidence, made it clear he was going to take on the winner of Mosley versus Mora, dismissing Canelo as just a small fry. But little did he know what would come next. The fight's pre-fight drama got even hotter when Baldomir came in too heavy, losing $12,000 of his own money as a penalty. But Canelo, being the good sport he is, didn't want the extra cash. The fight was all about winning. In the 6th round, Canelo hit a killer punch that knocked Baldomir out, making him the first boxer to do it. It was a big moment that showed off Canelo's strength and skill, making him famous overnight. No talk about Canelo is complete without mentioning his 2 huge battles with Gennady Triple G Golovkin. Their first fight in 2017 was a big deal, with fans calling it a showdown of the best. It was sold out at T-Mobile Arena and had 12 intense rounds. Canelo's quick jabs and moves went head-to-head with Golovkin's constant attacks. The end, a controversial draw that kept fans talking for weeks. Judge Adelaide Bird's score of 118 to 110 in favor of Canelo became legendary, even though the fight was still exciting. The rematch in 2018 was even more intense. Canelo went all out, fighting Golovkin in the middle of the ring and throwing punches left and right. It was a battle of who could last the longest. This time, Canelo came out on top, winning by a lot. Critics said Golovkin should have won, but Canelo silenced a lot of people with his win. It was a moment that showed he could change, grow, and win against the best. Getting to Álvarez's first world title was a wild ride. At first, he was supposed to be the one to challenge Manny Pacquiao for the WBC light middleweight title, which Pacquiao had just won against Antonio Margarito. But Pacquiao decided not to defend the title, leaving it up for grabs. On March 5th, 2011, Álvarez grabbed the chance and faced Matthew Hatton for the top spot. The fight at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California was a one-sided win for Canelo. Even though he got the point taken off in the 7th round for hitting after a break, he still landed 47% of his punches compared to Hatton's 25%. All 3 judges scored the bout decisively in Canelo's favor, 119 to 108, and the fight drew 1.4 million viewers on HBO, marking the arrival of a new boxing superstar. Canelo didn't waste time defending his title. On June 18, 2011, he faced Ryan Rhodes, the 4th-ranked ring light middleweight and reigning European champion. Fighting in front of his home crowd in Guadalajara, Álvarez dismantled Rhodes with a 12th-round TKO. The fight drew even more viewers than his bout with Hatton, with 1.6 million fans tuning into HBO to watch the rising Mexican phenomenon. Boxers sometimes have to put themselves through a lot of risk, even when their health is involved. An example was that moment back in 2021 when Canelo Álvarez stepped into the ring at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, to defend his titles against WBC mandatory challenger Avni Yildirim. The match sparked controversy before it even began. Yildirim, sidelined since his loss to Anthony Durrell 2 years prior, was seen by many as an overmatched opponent. Despite the noise, Álvarez remained unfazed, stating, "I don't have to explain myself. People are never happy. He's courageous and dangerous in his own way." Once the bell rang, however, it was all Álvarez. With precise punches and relentless pressure, Álvarez dominated from the start, landing 40% of his total punches and 59% of his power shots. By the end of the third round, Yildirim's corner had seen enough and threw in the towel. Álvarez's performance was so one-sided that it left critics silent. His dominance was unquestionable. Later, Álvarez revealed he had battled COVID-19 just before the fight, training for only a month beforehand. From his humble beginnings as a 15-year-old prodigy to becoming the first ever undisputed super middleweight champion, Canelo Álvarez has etched his name in boxing history. So, whether you're a hardcore boxing fan who's got a mad love for Canelo or just a casual viewer of the sport, one thing's for sure: Canelo Álvarez is a once-in-a-generation talent, and his journey is far from over. Who's next in line to face the king? Only time will tell.